Welcome to the Unleash Your Inner Radiance podcast with your host, Lisa Dorn. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance.
Welcome back to Unleash Your Inner Radiance. I'm Lisa, your life wellness and transformation coach and real estate agent in the state of Minnesota. And today's going to be a little bit different than what it normally is because I want to talk about something that I struggle with. And I think a lot of other people do struggle with the same thing too. So here's a question from me to you, but it's a question that I've also asked myself. So here's my question. Are you still seeking permission to fully step into your power? Now, that's a question for everybody because a lot of us have not stepped into our power. A lot of us stand behind fear, and fear causes self-sabotage and maybe procrastination or maybe perfectionism. And perfectionism, like I've talked about before, is not a good thing, right? So here's my thought process behind this. And remember, this is really about me also. So it's going to talk about both of us, right? Because this is the thing I think of. And I don't know why I struggle with this, but see, for me, I struggle with my podcast because I don't know if I'm reaching people. I don't know if I'm talking to people. I don't know if I'm coming across as authentic, which is how I want to be, right? So, I promote wellness and advocacy, and I help women understand their bodies by sharing stories and by building a platform. But I always question, should I keep doing my podcast or should I stop? Because I always ask myself, maybe I should think of things to suggest. And I should stop checking to see if I should be allowed to be the authority. Because I'm doing this podcast, I've been doing it for 2 years, and yet I still struggle with, do I have what it takes to be the authority to run this podcast? Am I touching people? Am I good enough? Is my podcast good enough? Can I write really good episodes? Can I just speak from the heart really good episodes, right? I always want my episodes to be very powerful. And there's nothing wrong with any of that, but I always feel like I'm not being authentic. And I feel like some of my episodes sound like I'm reading something and I'm really not. And so I don't want to, and I don't think any of us should, because what I think what we're doing when we're not fully giving ourselves permission to step into our power is we're outsourcing our confidence instead of owning it, instead of owning the fact that like me, I already maybe have a powerful voice, right? Maybe I know all the answers. If I don't know the answers, I can find the answers, but I know that I can do that. And I think that stops a lot of people from stepping into their power because they're always outsourcing their confidence instead of owning the fact that they already have the powerful voice. Now, do I think my voice is powerful? Absolutely not. But you know what? I think my higher self wants me to realize, my future self wants me to realize that I do have the powerful voice. And I'm not just learning this work, right? I'm leading it. It's like we don't step into our power for whatever reason. When you were a kid and you dreamed of what you wanted to be when you were an adult, you had dreams when you were a child. Where did those go? What power do you need to step into to become the ultimate best version of yourself? Who is that? For me, I think I needed to really let go of all the pain that I was carrying. And there's still times when it rears its ugly head, right? Because we always find ourselves stuck in missing our parents, or, I should have done this with my dad, or I should have taken my dad into my house, right? There's just things that we should have done differently. I should have done my marriage differently. But I didn't, right? I probably wasn't the best mom because of things that were going on in my marriage. But there's just things you can't live in the, oh my God, I should have done this. Because a lot of people build their missions from their pain, and that is not wrong. But subconsciously, I feel like I must keep revisiting the wound to justify the purpose. And I don't want to do that. And I don't think anybody should, because my higher self, my future self, doesn't want me to stay in the pain. And I don't want you to stay there either. So think of your story as being the doorway for you to take the step into, not the place where you're stepping backwards and staying in that place. You don't want to live there forever. You want to have that door open, and you want to dream that vision again. You want to become that future version of yourself. Who do you want to be in 5 years? Who do you want to be? Because we all, I think, including me, I think I hide behind my preparation sometimes. Sometimes I have to write it out. I have to have Post-it notes. I have to have help sometimes with my scripts, with my posts, with my funnels, with my podcast plans, because I don't always know what to talk about, right? And I just struggle with that. But all of that is amazing to have help with, right? Because I'm building scripts, I'm building posts, I'm building funnels, I'm building podcast plans and bios and all the messaging that goes with it. I'm building it. But sometimes there's like a subtle pattern that can happen when someone is stepping into a bigger calling. And that can be you too. And the preparation sometimes becomes the hiding place. And instead of, here's my message, take it or leave it, right? It becomes, oh my God, I need to refine this one more time. Or if you're going after that purpose and trying to live in your purpose, and you're confused, you don't know what your purpose is going to be, right? And so you're trying to refine it and trying to refine it and trying to refine it. But guess what? Your higher self probably wants you to just be more authentic and less polished. Don't you think? And I struggle with that because I am a perfectionist and I need things to be a certain way and I need to do things a certain way in my business. And I want my podcast to reach people, right? I want it to change lives. And yet I still, I think, underestimate the impact that I can make. Now I have that question for you. Do you underestimate the impact that you could make? Because I talk about helping women, and I do. I think my message has the potential to help thousands of women. But sometimes, I think that I intentionally play small because I don't want to seem arrogant. You're just a small Minnesota girl. Who do you think you are, right? And so I intentionally play small. And I know that that is not good for me, right? I still struggle with what people are going to think about me, what people are going to say about me. And why should I care about that? Why? Why should any of us? Yet we do, because we've been taught to do that. So there's a difference between being arrogant and stepping into and owning your calling, your purpose. Because again, your higher self isn't trying to be liked by everyone. It's trying to change lives. So like my vision is wellness, right? I'm doing things to make my life better because I want to have more energy. I want to be more vibrant. I want to just have a better life. And for me, taking holistic products works. It might not work for you, but I don't want to take the medications that my parents took. I don't want to take the high blood pressure medication. I would rather do this for me and help other women learn to do it for themselves. Because most of us are not only trying to change our own lives, but we're trying to have an impact and change other people's lives too. So, are you stepping into like a leadership identity? Because you know what? That can feel really uncomfortable. And trust me, as I grow, as I start to become a better leader, I struggle with leadership identity because it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm trying to shift into, I'm a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for 7 years. I have been in the network marketing realm of life for probably in and out for 20 years, more out than in. But I want to guide others through wellness. And so I struggle with that. And I struggle with the identity shift. And you know what? That kind of triggers imposter feelings. I mean, oh my God, who has those, right? But you know what? That's totally normal. But I can't stay in that hesitation for too long because I truly think that it will dilute my message, right? And I want to lead others and guide others through that too, because I don't want them to get stuck. And getting stuck with the imposter feelings is like tough because you're always saying things to yourself that you wouldn't say to your friends. So, the truth about your higher self is that it already knows. It already knows what your best version of yourself can be, what you can become. You just need to create the content. You just need to build the movement around, I know women are listening to me, and I know women are wanting to listen to their bodies again. So I need to trust my voice. I need to stop asking if what I'm saying or what message I want to get across to women is actually allowed, right? And stop being a perfectionist because that's not serving me or my following. So if you want to start leading, you need to stop playing small. And I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to stop playing small. And I step out of my comfort zone But then something happens and I step right back in it. Because I want to ask you something really important. And I want you to be like best friend honesty. Where in your life are you still playing smaller than you know you are capable of? Where? Where in your life are you still playing smaller than you know you are capable of? Your voice, your visibility, your authority, your willingness to claim your mission? I can ask myself all those questions because I'm playing smaller with my voice. I'm playing smaller with my visibility because I'm afraid of what people will say. Therefore, my authority, which I always question, is also struggling. And I have yet to really fully 100% claim my mission. So it feels like I'm outside looking in some days. And it seems like my next evolution is like literally owning the role of guide and leader. And I need to fully own that. And I struggle with that. And I don't know who else struggles with that, but do know if you do, you're not the only one. So think about yourself in just go 3 years. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? What version of yourself do you see in 3 years? What is your highest potential version of yourself? What does that look like in just 3 years? If you stopped playing small, if you stepped in your role of leadership, if you decided to stop being a perfectionist and always worried about what you're going to say and what you're going to do, and you stop playing small because you really don't care what everybody else thinks. But we were taught when we were young to care what other people think. Let's not do that anymore because that is playing small. So think about yourself in 3 years. Where do you see yourself? What are you doing? What are you wearing? How do you start your day? Right down to I have eggs for breakfast. Whatever it is, I have tea on the patio. I have coffee on the patio. I stand and ground myself for 30 minutes. I mean, what do you get to do when you find your purpose and you find your voice and you find your authority and you claim your mission? What do you get to do with that version of yourself? What impact are you making once you find that mission? Because I truly believe that, including myself, all of us still underestimate the impact that we could have. So go back, listen to your gut, what your gut's been telling you. Every so often, I get this little gut nudge, and I'm like, I need to play bigger like that. I need to be able to get people to understand my mission. And I want that for you too. What is that one thing that you are so passionate about that you can't not think about? What is it? That is the mission that you need to follow. That is your dream. That is your calling. Take that. Think about what you can do with that and vision yourself 3 years down the road. Where will you be? Maybe you'll be living in the same house. Maybe you'll have a huge addition put on it. Who knows? But what is your dream? If you found this episode to be a good episode that you want to share with your friends, please, 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 please do that. Thank you so incredibly much from the bottom of my heart for following me, for listening to my episodes, for reaching out and telling me what you want to talk about. And I know that a lot of you wanted to hear this message today because I also believe that each and every one of you has the potential to help thousands of people. You just need to step into your calling. You just need to step into what that is. Thank you for listening. Please go back and listen to other episodes if you missed some, because I've kind of had a little thing going. But I look forward to talking to you guys again next week with the next episode. So have a great week. Happy Tuesday. And just remember to keep growing, keep dreaming, and keep becoming the unleashed version of yourself.
When you were wondering what comes next, try to find your purpose when everyone has left. You gave them your all, and now it's hard not to feel small. It's time to find your light again and free the child within. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance. You were once a child out to play. You spoke your mind, you did things your own way. When did the fear crash down? How do you find the magic now? You thought that you had given up your dreams, but look inside your soul, they're lingering. And when you feel the glow, it's your turn now. It's time to grow. It's time to find your light again and free the child within. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance. Unleash, 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 unleash your inner radiance. Forgive yourself, child. The road is bright ahead. It's not too late, child, to design the life you lead. It's time